In 2016, scientists examined the eyes of 28 Greenland sharks and discovered something almost unbelievable. The largest shark was estimated to be about 392 years old. If that estimate is close, it could have been swimming through Arctic water before Isaac Newton was born. A mouse, meanwhile, may complete its entire life in only a few years. Both are vertebrates. Both build bodies from cells that accumulate damage over time. So how can one biological clock run for years while another keeps going for centuries? The first clue seems obvious: size. Across mammals, larger species generally tend to live longer than smaller ones. A mouse burns energy rapidly, reproduces quickly, and lives fast. An elephant develops slowly and can remain alive for many decades. For a while, this seems like the rule. Then you meet a naked mole rat. It weighs only around 30 to 40 grams, roughly mouse-sized. Yet naked mole rats can live for more than 30 years, several times longer than similar-sized rodents. And researchers studying captive colonies found something even stranger. For much of their adult lives, their chance of surviving the next year does not appear to collapse with age the way it does in most mammals. So body size cannot be the whole answer. In 2022, scientists compared normal cells from 16 mammal species, including mice, rats, rabbits, dogs, cows, giraffes, tigers, humans, and naked mole rats. They counted somatic mutations, tiny changes that gradually accumulate in cells as an animal lives. The result revealed a remarkable pattern. Short-lived species accumulated mutations quickly. Long-lived species accumulated them slowly. A mouse accumulated hundreds of substitutions per genome each year. And by the end of a typical lifespan, species with completely different bodies had accumulated surprisingly similar total numbers. Then came one of the strangest comparisons in the study. A giraffe is roughly 23,000 times heavier than a naked mole rat, yet their estimated lifespans in the dataset were almost identical, about 24 and 25 years. Their somatic mutation rates were almost identical too. One was enormous, the other could fit in your hands. Their cells seem to be keeping time at nearly the same speed. That changes the question. Long life may depend less on how big an animal is than on how slowly its body allows certain kinds of cellular damage to accumulate. But evolution does not give every animal the same reason to invest in that maintenance. Imagine a small mammal living on the ground. Even a perfectly maintained body is not especially useful if most individuals rarely survive long enough to benefit from it. Evolution favors whatever helps an animal reproduce successfully under the conditions it normally faces. Building extremely durable cells is expensive. Repairing DNA costs resources. Maintaining proteins costs resources. Keeping damaged cells under tight control costs resources. If a species usually reproduces quickly, heavy investment in a body designed to function for a century may provide little advantage. Change the environment, however, and the calculation changes. Bats are a famous example. They are small mammals, yet many species live much longer than similarly sized terrestrial mammals. Flight changed their world. Once an animal could leave the ground and escape many threats that limited other small mammals, surviving for additional years became more useful. Natural selection now had more reason to favor maintenance, repair, and slower aging. The same logic appears in animals protected in completely different ways. Naked mole rats spend almost their entire lives underground in large colonies. Turtles carry physical protection with them. Large whales are simply difficult for most other animals to challenge once fully grown. Different solutions can create the same evolutionary opportunity, make surviving another year worthwhile. But longevity creates another problem. The longer an animal lives, the longer millions, or trillions, of cells must continue functioning without losing control. And larger animals have vastly more cells to manage. A bowhead whale can weigh more than 80,000 kilograms and may live for over 200 years. By simple probability, an animal that large and long-lived seems as if it should face enormous problems from cellular errors. Yet bowhead whales exist. Their genome contains unusual changes in genes connected with DNA repair and cell cycle regulation. And newer experiments found that bowhead whale cells can repair certain breaks in DNA with unusually high accuracy. Evolution did not make the whale immune to aging. It appears to have improved the maintenance system. The Greenland shark seems to have pushed the strategy even further. These sharks live in cold Arctic and North Atlantic water, grow extremely slowly, and may not reach reproductive maturity until roughly 150 years of age. For them, a century can be preparation for adulthood. That is almost the opposite of a mouse. A mouse is built around speed, grow quickly, reproduce quickly, invest enough in maintenance to keep the system working for the time evolution usually needs. A Greenland shark follows another schedule entirely. And that is why there is no single longevity gene shared by every long-lived animal. Some species slow the accumulation of mutations, some improve DNA repair, some maintain proteins unusually well, some reduce the risks that make extreme cellular maintenance pointless in the first place. Evolution keeps arriving at long life through different doors. A whale, a bat, a naked mole rat, and a shark do not live long because they discovered the same trick. They live long because, in each of their worlds, evolution found a reason to keep repairing the body for one more year.